Hey guys, today I am reacting to American Empire by CGP Grey, so let's get into it. And please like this video and subscribe to the channel before you get started.
The United States is, shockingly, a bunch of states that are united. It was just 13 to start with, but as time marched on, the border marched west, bringing us to today and the 48 contiguous states plus Alaska and Hawaii, usually drawn
Could this be considered an empire?
in these little boxes, not to scale because Hawaii is in the middle of a vast ocean of deadly nothingness and Alaska is monstrous. Unlike other unions where members can leave if they so choose, statehood is eternal, even for you, Texas. Now, how the federal government works is a story for another time, but at the moment all you need know is that Congress, where national laws are written, is made of representatives sent from the states. Now, there are some non-state gaps not visible on this map. The first is Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, which is a stateless limbo land between Maryland and Virginia. As DC is a city without a state, it puts her under the control of Congress, meaning that all the other states get the final say on how DC is.
You know though, I also think that DC could be more like located centrally in the country. Like, it was a while ago that it was decided to be there, right? On the Potomac, right? But nowadays, with how large the country is and how westward it is, I think maybe the capital should be more in the middle of the country.
Run while she doesn't get a vote in anything. It didn't matter when this District of Columbia was basically uninhabited, but since more people live in DC now than do in a couple of states, it's an uncomfortable arrangement. The other gaps on this map are the American Indian reservations, which are numerous. The United States kind of administers them while sort of treating them as foreign nations, which
I have a video on this, a nation within a nation, kinda. It's an interesting topic. I will link the video in the description box below. It talks about dependencies in Native American nations in the US.
Which means you could draw the state boundaries to look like this, because the reservations are kind of apart from those states.
Maybe it should be like this, yeah.
But the American Indian reservations are such a full of asterisks, oh so sensitive situation, it's also better as a story for another time. Gaps aside, the continent and Hawaii is mostly straightforward, but there's more than just these United States. When the US ran out of lands to manifest destiny, she learned from the best and territorified a whole bunch of islands. First up, Puerto Rico, an organized, unincorporated territory of the US. This means she's self-governing to some extent, and that all of the US Constitution doesn't automatically apply on the island. Now, 3.7 million people live in Puerto Rico, which is 91% of the people living on US territorial islands, and more people than live in 21 of the states. And the US treats Puerto Rico as a state in almost all but name, which possibly soon she will be anyway, bringing the number of stars to a nice even 51. But Puerto Rico isn't the only.
Another thing, I don't even like the US flag that much. I think it'd be really cool if we had the emblem or the crest of the United States on the flag instead of all the stars.
Organized unincorporated territory. There's also Guam, which was acquired in the Spanish-American War, along with Puerto Rico. There's the Northern Mariana Islands, taken from Japan during World War II, and the US Virgin Islands, taken from nobody. Denmark sold her. The people in these territories are American citizens. In most ways, the territories are just like DC. Congress can override their local governments, and they don't have representation because no state-tation. But otherwise, it's America. Actually, the territories and DC do get to elect congressional representatives who attend all of the meetings but just can't vote in any of them, which is either the worst job in the world,
but they can all vote for the president, I'm pretty sure, so that is some representation.
Or the best job in the world, depending on the kind of person who gets it. Also, since votes for president are based on state population, citizens in the territories can't vote, which, as mentioned,
I thought they could. I thought Puerto Rico voted for the president
in a previous video, leads to the weird situation that America.
I guess they can't vote electorally in the electoral college, but I think they can just vote in the popular vote. Although I guess, yeah, the popular vote doesn't matter as much.
Who live in foreign countries can vote for president in the state where they last lived, while Americans who live in America, just in a territory, cannot. Along with these unincorporated organized territories, there are also unincorporated unorganized territories.
That is a bit fucked up.
Actually, quite a few. They are Howland Island, Navissa Island, Wake Island, Jarvis Island, Johnson Atoll, Kingman Reef, Midway Reef, Serranilla Bank, and Bajo Nuevo Bank. Most of these were acquired under the delightfully named Guano Islands Act when the US decided she wanted a bunch of islands filled with bird poop. No, really, the US just straight up wrote a law to declare that those islands were now hers. Unorganized in this system means there's no local government on these islands because no one lives in these places. Some of them are barely above the waterline. Now, the weird category is unorganized incorporated territories, of which there is one, the Palmyra Atoll, claimed by the US after the totally peaceful annexation of Hawaii. They're currently an uninhabited nature reserve, but incorporated means the US Constitution applies here to who? The Palmyra Atoll is like that question about a tree falling in the forest. If there are no people for the Constitution to apply to, does the Constitution still apply? Yes. This means if a foreigner gives birth on this uninhabited strip and doesn't die from the nature, their child would be an American citizen. Now, this category is empty. It's where territories go before they become states, when basically the Constitution fully applies, and it was last occupied by Hawaii. We've gone full circle, but there is one territory we've left out: American Samoa, home to 55,000 people. Uniquely, American Samoans don't get to be citizens, but instead are American nationals. They can live in the states, but can't vote in presidential elections unless they go through the immigration process like any foreigner, even though in all other ways they're indistinguishable from citizens. This is unique to American Samoa, and there seems to be no reason for it other than that Congress hasn't gotten around to updating the system. American Samoa is in the no government category, like it's Lord of the Flies over there, which it obviously isn't. So American Samoa with its organized government needs to go over here, and Puerto Rico, essentially a state, needs to go over here, and the empty Palmyra Atoll needs to go over here. But don't hold your breath for the paperwork to make its way through Congress anytime soon. So that's all the territory of the United States, but there is one final thing to talk about. 3 tiny nations: Palau, the Marshall Islands, and the Federated States of Micronesia. This last has the convenient domain name .fm, first choice of quality podcasts everywhere. Hint, hint, click, click. These are separate countries with UN seats and everything, but they have a, quote, compact of free association with the United States. The deal is that the US provides economic support and military defense to the compact nations in return for being allowed to build military bases there. Also, compact citizens can live and work in the United States and vice versa. Americans wanting to live abroad, you have 3 easy options. So
that's pretty cool.
That's America: 50 states, many reservations, 1 district, lots of island territories, some even with people, and 3 tiny associated countries.
So, I definitely can see, I can definitely see how America, how the US is an empire in some ways, yeah. Interesting stuff, for sure, for sure. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. Liking the video really helps boost the channel. And yeah, let's check out some of the comments. Okay. The American Indian reservations are probably a story for another time. Me 5 years later. Yeah, I actually have a video on that though. I will link it in the description below. I think it's by Half as Interesting. America be like, congratulations, you are now part of America. Please do not resist. The US ran out of destiny to manifest, so they're looking for more destiny. USA, I brought freedom, peace, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire? The United States are shockingly a bunch of states that are united. Shocking indeed. Suggestion: if it ever looks like Puerto Rico is going to become a state, buy stock in flag companies. There'd likely be a massive surge in flag sales as people try to update their flags. America 200 years ago. I hate you, imperialist British. I declare independence. How many come to me? Puerto Rico is pretty much Anakin. You are accepted into the council, but are not granted the rank of state. America be like, taxation without representation is theft. Also America. This. The territories don't pay any taxes to the federal government. Good point. I guess it's not taxation without representation then. Fair enough then, honestly. It's actually a good point. Yeah, if they don't even pay taxes to the federal government, then it's not taxation without representation. Yeah? Okay. When you run out of territory, you take islands. Lots and lots of islands. Also, the Philippines, once a part of the U.S. through peaceful conquest. The U.S. ran out of destiny to manifest, so they are looking for more destiny. Statehood is eternal. Doom music intensifies. Statehood is eternal. That means you, Texas. Cries in Texas. Cries in Texas, I should say. Yeah, it can split into 5 states. Oh, man. It's a pretty great video, honestly. Enjoyed it. Unique topic. If you enjoyed my reaction, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.